Yo guys, so this is going to be Devlog 2 for Project Sparrow. There's a lot of new changes that have been made to the game, a lot of improvements, a lot of bug fixes, and so many of these changes and improvements over the past month have been from the help of all the Patreons that help test the game out in this early development stage. It's been insane to see the growth of the community and the Patreon over the past month or so thank you very much for that. So one of the biggest improvements to the game has been the addition of the new map Cliffside. It's our first map, so it's nice to test it out, see how it feels, see what the distance is like, if it's too small, too big. And after some testing, we found it's quite a small map, small to medium. It's probably going to be used for 1v1s and maybe 2v2s. And then I'm going to be working on a slightly larger map to help try and test medium to large size maps, so we can see how they suit 2v2 and 3v3 instead of just 1v1, because we'll have a separate 1v1 styled maps and then 2v2 and 3v3 will be separate. So I've also added the start of the training range. This is going to be super basic for now, just so there's something there, but this is like my baby of the project. I want to make this like the best training range you've ever seen, because I feel like the ones in a lot of top titles at the moment just aren't that good and they're super underutilized and they could be so much better. So that's going to be my goal with this one. So there's currently some bots that just spawn randomly, and then I have this range where you can select the range where you want the bots to spawn at, 10 to 50 meters. Got a timer on there just in case you want to time yourself. And then this will all be improved as well, so it'll go to 100 meters. You'll be able to set the bots to move left and right and strafe and turn it off and on, or swap the circle bots to actual players so you can practice on player models instead. That's just the start really. There's going to be so much more to add and I can't wait to improve the training range. So moving on to more of the combat changes, more of the important part of the game. So we found the projectiles were actually off slightly. One of the traces that I was doing in the code wasn't actually working as intended, so it's a good job we spotted that, and that's fixed now, and projectiles feel so much better than they did before. We've slowly been increasing the speed of the projectiles too, and I think we started at about 8600, so 86 meters per second. I think it was even lower, and now we're all the way up to testing in 140 meters per second. So big difference in terms of projectile speed, and it makes the game feel so much better. But it also means that I need to start adding slightly larger maps so we can test them changes, and then hopefully we can iterate from there. Moving on to some of the more fun areas of game development, I've been doing some voice acting. So I've been doing the round 1, round lost, last man standing voices, and then just slightly editing them a bit. So that's pretty cool. I'll let you listen to these, and then there's also the victory and defeat sound effects that are from the Paragon assets too.
Round 1. Round lost.
You are victorious.
So yeah, just a preview of my voice acting talents right there. Crazy, I know. So then moving on to melee, there's been quite a few changes to melee actually. Kind of redid pretty much everything about melee. So now it'll be whichever direction you're facing is where the damage will be. It won't just be straight in front of you. You can actually aim with the melee now. And then if you hit a player, it'll make a different noise to if you hit the world, and then it'll show a different particle effect as well. So it's kind of easy to see if you hit the player or the world. With the slide, I've actually redone the slide as well, so it's a lot smoother now. You shouldn't really get stuck in terrain, and the animation has been smoothed out too. So when you go into a slide or you come out of a slide into a jump, it feels a lot smoother and there's no like hiccups or anything. Of course I can still improve all this, but I feel like this is pretty good for now. And some good news too. So the game is now a category on Twitch, so if you're streaming, feel free to stream under the game's name now instead of games and demos or whatever you were on before, so that's cool. And some other good news too, you can now wishlist the game on Steam, so that's pretty cool. So if you're interested, head over to the Steam page and wishlist that. It will help me out a lot with visibility on the store and everything like that. Now the page isn't really finished yet. There's still a few screenshots I want to get and change some of the GIFs so it's a bit more updated with the current version of the game. And that about sums it up for the past month or so. There's a lot that it didn't cover, and there's a lot that's changed and bugs that have been fixed and all that kind of stuff, but I thought I'd keep this one a bit shorter than the last, short and sweet. And then yeah, gonna try and get a devlog out once a month ish, sort of around there, kind of. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, thanks for watching.